Okay, great. So it's so nice to see new people. Uh, there were 5 registrants, so hopefully all of them will come. But if you want, we can start with the introductions. Usually when there are new people, we introduce ourselves. I am Tanya. I'm the host of this movie club. I teach English, like providing group and one-on-one classes. I'm from Ukraine and I love movies and I love talking about movies. What about you? Ola, do you want to go first because you're new here, if you are fine with that?
Yeah, I can introduce myself. My name is
Uh-huh.
Oля. I'm from Ukraine. I'm 25 years old. I work as an accountant and I need English for my work.
Uh-huh. Okay, great. Thank you. How did you hear about the movie club?
I just found it on Google.
Uh-huh. Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing. I hope you like it, and I hope you it will be not the last time you come here. I am open to suggestions. At the end, we will discuss what else you might want, but hopefully it will go fine, and this discussion will make you tempted, tempt you to come again. Ola, another Ola. Hi again.
Hello.
We saw each
Hello.
other today. So, because the guys don't know you, could you please introduce yourself? What's your name? Where you're from? And I don't know why you're here? Why you're learning English or something like that?
Yeah. Hi, nice to see you. My name is Olga Chumakova. Originally, I'm from Ukraine, Kiev. Now I live in Warsaw. Yeah, together with my daughter. It is driven by, later circumstances and war. And actually, I'm here just to, extend my English knowledge. I use now my English quite widely here. It is mostly for daily job, but how I feel, a lot of Polish people, they are speaking English quite fluently. That is why for me, I do not even have motivation to learn Polish for this moment, I would say.
Mhm. English is enough. Okay.
English.
Okay. Thank you, Ola. Now, you guys, who wants to go first? I mean, I know you, but the girls probably don't, so it would be nice if you introduce yourselves very quickly.
So my name is Pasha. I'm also from Ukraine, but recent years I live in Lithuania, now in Vilnius. I'm a craft maintenance engineer. So I use my English quite widely for my job or travels to communicate with people.
Mhm. And sometimes at our movie club, when you like the movies that we are discussing, right? Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you, Pasha.
Hello everybody. I'm Igor Stepanov. I'm also from Ukraine, and I thank you, Tanya, for this opportunity to enroll this movie club. I time to times I take part in this kind of activity and think that movie club is good opportunity to activate English and see that speak English. It's not so very scary thing that we have to avoid this. So sometimes enjoy movie club. It helps you to grow your confidence in yourself in your practice. And thank you, Tanya, for this opportunity. And hi everybody. I also new here, so don't think that I also knew, because I don't remember how many months before I was.
It's been a long time. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can say that I am also new on this platform.
Okay. Thank you, Vic. So usually, for those of you who are here for the first time, there is no special order in which you answer. So there are questions we are going to discuss. You can answer whenever you feel like it. If somebody speaks or starts to speak at the same time, you can wait and give them time to answer, or you can push on. So there is no special, like procedure or anything like that. It's just a friendly conversation. If you don't want to answer, you can say, next question maybe, or something like that. There is no pressure. Also, I put the questions in front of you. We are going to discuss them a bit later. In maybe like 3 minutes. So you can read them. If you have something else to say about the movie or your question you want to ask everybody, it's totally fine. It's even better than fine. So feel welcome to ask your questions, to raise some questions, something you noticed, etc. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So all of us have seen the movie, right? Only recently, or not so recently, but we have. How much did you like it? I will start. I liked it really much. The first time I watched it, I thought it was one of my favorite movies. What about you guys?
I also like it because there is no a lot of English that you have to understand and to listen. But also it's great story. Great story about many things. It's you can think about relationship. You can think about our planet, our environment, and very funny movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that for me, it's very nice mix of, some nice thoughts, not just for the children, but also for adults. Yeah. And for me, it's also a mix of everything. Yeah. It's romance. It's what is really important. Yeah. In our life.
Yes. Thank you, Oля.
I rarely watch cartoons, and I really don't like this how called
Animation?
no, like computer generated images. I like short cartoons or some unusual old techniques, but it's one of rare cartoons I used to see before, and I remember that I was impressed by it. And when I rewatched it again now, so
It's so cool.
very
Okay.
positive and warm feelings.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, what
Oля?
about me? I liked it a lot, and I believe that I liked it because it's not so predictable, as American films, usual American films, and it really had some things that you have to think about. For example, the pollution, what it can cause, and so on. And I liked a lot main characters. They're so nice.
Yeah, they're really adorable. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to just start with the questions. If you if nobody wants to answer certain question, we will skip it, so don't worry about that. And again, you can go in any order, and if you have some ideas but somebody's talking, you can use the function of raise hand. I will use it right now. Do you see on screen there should be like icons? So I will be able to tell that even when Igor is testing. Okay, good. I like people who experiment and test. Okay, good. So I will disable it for now. So the first question, what age group, somebody mentioned that, I think, Ola, what age group do you think WALL-E is made for? Why do you think so? And if you watch it with kids, what lessons do you think they can learn from this movie?
I have this habit, to go in the cinema with my daughter. That is why at one moment I started to watch a lot of cartoons, because my husband, he's in Ukraine, and before it was his duty, and now it's mine. And actually, what I would say, it's very sensitive. For example, for my daughter, she's very empathic, and I would say that it is for the age from even I don't know 5 till 99. I would not say about exact age, But for example, I would rather think if my daughter should watch it, because there are some sensitive moments, and that is why she would cry for sure, because Wally, he's so sweet, he's so nice and cute that, you know, I cannot even imagine how certainly she would be, you know, at one moment, feel her not enough
So
comfort.
empathetic that she would start crying, yeah?
Yeah. Especially when he struggled, at
Mhm.
one
Thank
moment.
you. Mhm. Anybody else wants to answer this question? I don't know about you, but I watched this movie when it was first was released, which was, I mean, quite some time ago, but I was already a grown-up. And I loved it. You know, I didn't even think about it as a movie for kids. I mean, it's a cartoon, yes, but it touched so many different strings in my soul, in my heart, that I thought it was made for me. So I think it's not just made for kids. It's made for adults as well, especially I think for adults. Actually, I think it's even more for adults than for kids. You
I
may
also
agree with
think
me.
that it's not only for child or children, it's also for any ages who are interested to watch movie, because my wife cartoons, because my wife disagree with me. She doesn't like watch any cartoons. So many years ago I watched it alone, and right now I rewatched it with my daughter, and my daughter laughed very aloud, and I saw that it's not only for me, because there we can find very deep, meaning and details that only adult can understand. And but also for kids, it's very great cartoon about relationship, about empathy, about also environment. It was a case when I can explain my daughter why we have to clean our apartment, try to segregate trash and something else.
Mhm.
And also it's still fun, it's still interesting for children. I hope maybe in the future my wife also change her mind and we will rewatch it again, but with all family.
Okay,
What
thank
I
you.
can add, I did not change my mind, honestly. I just, accept that it is like it is. I don't
Yeah.
like to watch cartoons.
Well, yeah, I mean, people have different tastes. There is nothing wrong with that, so that's fine. That's fine. Anybody else? If not, we can move on to the next question. If you have something to say, just you can add something. Okay. The next question is, the first 40 minutes of WALL-E have hardly any talking. How does this choice enhance the overall viewing experience? What feelings and messages do you think it brings out? So like almost silent movie at the beginning. They start talking only in the second part on the ship, on this station. But the story of WALL-E starts and we start to understand him, etc. So how does it happen?
Honestly, I did not feel it at all. Yeah. It was so nice, everything was, all messages were delivered in very nice manner. Yeah. And that is why if you would not ask me, I would not recognize.
Uh-huh. Okay. And what
Yeah.
what messages, sorry, just 1 second, Oля, the second, Oля. What message did you have in mind? You said all messages were delivered so nicely, almost, like unnoticed. Did you have some specific example in mind or just the general impression?
No, it was easier, to understand the content. It was easier to understand the story behind. I did not put any additional efforts there, just to understand this cartoon. And for me, if you would not ask again, I would not recognize. I started to enjoy it, and that's all.
Okay, thank you.
For me,
Ola?
it was the same. I didn't notice that they didn't speak at the beginning because it was so natural for that situation. I was just looking, I was into it, like he sorted all the trash, right? And it was just right, as I believe. So nothing else shouldn't be done.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
such a beginning give a specific mindset to watch this movie further. Like Lonely Planet, just one and two characters. Oh, there is also Cockroach, three characters.
Yeah, it's also a character.
Like feeling of some emptiness. Yeah, like consequence of what we are doing now, and preparation of what will be in the movie next.
Yes.
A very
Yes.
interesting director's approach.
Yes.
I want also add that I don't know what it was the main idea of editors of this cartoon, but I think that it can show us that for express your feeling, for express your thinking, for express your emotion, it's not necessary every cases, every times to say something. Sometimes you can show your care, you show your mood only by your acting, by your what are you doing right now. So
Actions and
only
behavior.
serve the planet, only clean it, and eat, or she or he showed his attitude to this. He tried to help this little saint, this little
Insect, cockroach.
It's very important, actually, word. So Wally can doing something and take care about this little creature, and you can do it without any words, and you can explore this planet. I think that Wally Ray explored planet because he opens these new devices, new spoons, new forks. You can do it without any words. Only you have to be curious about your environment. Only try to notice something and see how it can be exciting for you.
Yes, very good points. Yes, and like Pasha said, this emptiness of this planet, well, it's not empty, but there is no one around, no one to talk to. It sort of creates the message on its own, right? I mean, there are only two creatures, and they are not talking, but they are communicating, which is interesting. And yes, visual storytelling, just using your eyes to see what they are doing, it tells so much more.
And also we can add that after this 40 minutes, so I don't know how much time, we will see one spaceship, many people who didn't notice that they surrounded by other people. I think that it's some ironic point of view in our future, that we will see only our screens, and we will not see this, how you call this little creature?
Cockroach.
Even cockroach we will not see.
Yeah. Good contrast. I'm happy you mentioned that. When you're talking and you're basically not connecting with anyone, and when you're not talking and are connecting deeply with a small creature, that's a very good point. Thank you. By the way, I used the chat to write down the word cockroach in case you need it. I mean, I hope you don't need it, but just in case. There should be some icon below with the word chat. You can see it there. Okay, nice answers, excellent answers. Thank you. So let's continue. Next question is, Wally is such a cute and curious robot. How does his personality shine through without using words. So how do we get to know this personality, let's call him, because he's not a human being. So what do you find most adorable about him, and how does it add to the story? There are several parts in this question. You can use any of those. So how did they create his personality? How did they make us feel in love with a robot?
Because this robot has a human behavior, I guess. So no, I think in the time of release of this movie, it was not a very popular topic, but now we speak every time about artificial intelligence, about this neural networks which he learned. So he, like one of the maybe the last one robot among many, used to survive such a long time because he was learning something, and he was watching some movies, and he absorbed all this information, and he learned to become a human and behave like a human, and he collect some unusual things. Yeah. So he has some already human features.
Yeah, human-like habits and features. That's right. Yes, very good observation. So he already behaves like we do sometimes, getting attached to some objects or watching movies, like you said. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
And also he moved his eyes in quite nice manner. You know, it was like, yeah, as Pasha said, yeah, it was like human behavior. Or this is famous cat from Shrek. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, we are delivering a lot of messages via our eyes. Yeah, it was pretty the same approach.
Yeah, I read somewhere, I didn't put it in my post because I posted about this movie, several small posts, but I read that they sketched, I don't remember the exact number, I'm terrible with numbers, but like, for example, 50 different, like sketches, drawings of his face to make him more relatable, to make him more, to make his eyes more human or expressive or something like that. So it was not done like very quickly and easily. They put a lot of thought into that, and I think they did a great job with him, and the same with Eve, which I think was even more difficult job because she looks so round or like plastic. So yeah, very nice answers. So with his features, physical features, with his emotions, with what he does, his habits, all of this contributes. For me, I think the scene that made me fall in love with him, like in the first maybe 10 minutes, I don't remember exactly when it happened, was when he was rolling out of his container, his home, and accidentally stepped on this cockroach, and he went, oh, something like, like he was scared for his friend, and it was such a, like it made me feel fall in love with this robot, and I started to get more and more involved and engaged in the story. Okay, Oля?
I would like to add that I see him as a really caring creature because he cared about Eva so much when she was with this plant inside, so she didn't move and didn't have any signals, right? And he Vali protects her from different situations, and it was really nice because I saw him as a really caring creature.
Yeah, that was another one. He was so in love that he tolerated rainstorm and all the other things. And also, I think around the time, there were a lot of, at least for me, I laughed a lot and smiled a lot because sometimes it looked funny with the umbrella. Maybe you remember how the lightning struck the umbrella. You don't remember? It's fine.
Yeah. When she was tucked, she got this, how you said?
He was holding an umbrella above her.
Yeah, and she was like blocked somehow. Yeah, and then he put one umbrella, second umbrella, third umbrella.
Yes. So it also added a little bit of humor. So caring we become emotionally involved in his story and their story. That's okay. Good. Anything to add here? If no, then let's move on to the next question. What does Wally really want, and how does that desire relate to his purpose? I mean, all robots are created with a certain purpose, but what his purpose is and what he really wants inside are slightly different things. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
I think that Wally is some different robot, because we will see in the end that big Wally, yes, who care out about take care for all the spaceship, big version. Say without any feelings, without any special behaviors. We also saw all planet with broken Wally. They didn't discover, understood how to fix themselves. So I think that Wally is some different robot. It's a whole story about how your differences, how your peculiarities can make you some outstanding thing, some outstanding creature. And in this point of view, I think that Wally really want to discover, not only do his daily routine, only also discover this planet, not planet, discover many things and put this little thing in big picture. And after that, it led him to to another space, and discovers that actually picture is bigger than it can to imagine. And finally, I think his editors try to make a role or suggest about him, like how good human feelings or peculiarities can help you fix any problem and lead you from every daily routine. In daily routine you can find some interesting, and you're honest and you're brave can lead you to another good place. So if robot can do it, so maybe human people can do it. I think that's all that I want to say.
Okay, great points. So his curiosity and open-mindedness made him unique among all the other robots and led him to be very different and to survive and also to achieve something unimaginable.
Let's imagine this. Okay, it's robot, but it's robot with human behavioral. Let's imagine that in our planet will be only one person. What this person will do? So with you have to do everything every day, and I don't know, in our daily life we have to do something, some routine. But in every routine you can find something interesting. In every routine and every activity you can find something, discover some outstanding. And it's a movie with many layers of
layers,
meaning
yes.
for me. Layers
Yes.
of meaning.
Will I wanted to say something?
No, actually, for me, regarding this desire of purpose, his purpose was love. As for me, everything was
How did you
driven by
come-
his love. Yeah, before he was, really deeply in this routine. He was like good robot. He did, some daily job. Yeah, he tried somehow maybe to change something in his life, but I did not have feelings that so much. Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, when Eva arrived, to this planet, yeah, then after that, he changed his mind, and for him, it was a huge step forward, I would say, not just small steps, as you're describing, yeah, Igor, but it was like huge step forward. But he had like outside motivation.
Okay.
Yeah, women can change men's lives.
Okay, anything else to add here?
I would say that. Okay.
Okay, so I'm agree with Olga. I believe that he needed love, and I see that he was alone at that planet. He was really lonely. He had only this cockroach, right? And he became his friend. And there were no another robots. And then he saw Eva, who was also a robot, and he tried to do things like he saw in the movie, like touching hands and other stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, the love is what he needed, and another robots, because he was like more human than a robot.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I agree with that point because even before Eve arrived on the planet, you probably remember the scene when he's alone, well, with a cockroach, but alone in his container at home, and he's watching this movie. And in the movie, the people are touching hands, and he's trying to imitate this with his metal, I don't know, handles, whatever, hands, let's say. And they sort of don't match, and you can tell, I mean, I can tell, at least I understood what he wanted. He wanted some real connection with someone who is like him, not just a friend like cockroach, but someone like him who would like him, etc. And finally, when she arrived, it was like an external, somebody mentioned this word, external, like stimulus or impetus that pushed him outside his zone of comfort or whatever you call it. So yes. Pasha, do you have anything to add here?
Yeah, actually, this the idea that he copied behavior he saw in movies. That, as I said, he liked to be a human. He tried to reproduce what he see. Like when in the beginning he found some metal cap and used as a hat to dance. So he saw it in the movie and repeated. He saw like people hold hands, and he also wanted to repeat it.
Very good point. I never really thought about it, but now you think about it, like he, on one level, he wanted to find love or connection, but he also wanted to be like a real human, as they say, something like, I mean, metaphorically speaking, like Pinocchio wanted to become a real person, although he was a wooden man, like, this fairy tale. I think it was to some extent the same case with Wally. Interesting. Okay. Nice answers, very insightful. Okay. Next question. Wally has a special bond with his cricket friend. Well, they call him Cricket, but for me, he looked like a cockroach. What do you think? Cricket это сверчок, cockroach таракан. For me, it looked like cockroach.
Yeah, it's cockroach. Cricket. It's not a bug. It's flying. It has another body more like a bee.
I think that all of us saw cockroach, but we never see cricket. So all of us
we usually just hear them, right? In the evening.
Okay.
Stuff like this.
I meant the cricket with
great marketing plan, so it's more commonly used.
Well, whatever this insect is, so Wally has a special bond with his insect friend, even without speaking. How does their silent friendship prepare us for other relationships in the movie?
I'm not sure. I think that the main relationship in the movie were silent. The main point, I think, that Olga and Oля started to discuss and added to our discussions that Wally wants love and pursued love, like feeling. Maybe we can say that Wally behavioral, even silent activity, can teach other creatures with no ability to express any feeling, like Eva was in the start. It's only a robot with some program.
Mhm.
Program was secret, and Eva only did her program and some. But Wally, with his attempts
It's
to
not right. You
right?
was
No?
just. Do you
I
remember
don't
the
want,
very, very beginning of Eva arrival, when she come to the planet and just start scanning, scanning, scanning? And when the spaceship left, she start flying, like enjoying the place when she is.
yes,
And
you're right.
so she also has a personality.
Yes, some kind of personality, but I think that even without words, we can teach each other. It's like an example that even without words, you can teach and lead other person, other people, other creatures, other robots to feel something, to feel friends, to feel warm, to feel love, and something else.
Thank you.
Uh,
And not just feel, I think it's also about caring, about actions. He was helping his friend. I mean, he didn't carry him along all the time, but in some situations, in some scenes, it was obvious that he didn't just ignore him, like, okay, you want to follow. But he did something with him. He helped him up, or I don't remember exactly, but he actually
And in
interacted.
the spaceship, yeah, we saw that a lot of people, all of them can speak, can talk about something, but not all of them can express feeling in person, in personal contact. So they too, I remember two person use this chair and discover, oh, we are surrounded we have a swimming pool here, yeah? We can speak with other people without any devices and do it personally, yes? Different experience.
And also, I think it has a little bit of relationship to, let's call it, revolt of the machines. Remember at the station when there were like a bunch of robots, broken robots, who started acting unusually and started following Wally or his instructions or whatever he said. So I think his interaction with these robots helped them, well, not see the light, but basically find some kind of purpose. Not just, like move from one corner to another one, but do something that they wanted to do, to discover themselves, basically. I'm not sure, but it seems there is a connection there somewhere. Okay, if that's all, just a second. Next page.
I can also add that Wally's behavior towards his cricket or cockroach is like a pet.
Yes, like people behave with dogs or cats, he behaved with his cockroach. So again, a little bit human behavior, but makes him even more adorable. Yes, good point. Okay, this is the second page. Eva, another robot character, plays a big role in Wally's journey. How would you describe their relationship and how does it change throughout the film? So it starts on one sort of step and it changes quite differently throughout the film. Would you care to describe this process, development?
At first, I believe Eva wasn't really friendly to Wally. I saw her dangerous to him, and he was really interested in her. But with time, it changed, and at the end of the film, we see as Eva, she tried to do something with Wally because he was like broken and then repaired and he lost his personality, and she tried to wake him up. So for me it means that she also was in love with him and she tried to bring him back. So it like started from not hate but like danger, some danger.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, why do you think she was so aggressive, or why she behaved in such a way? Why did she perceive everything as danger? at the beginning?
Maybe it was her program. Like she was programmed to be dangerous to another forms.
Okay, yeah, to preserve what she has to, push back everything else. Okay, okay. Anything else to add here?
I remember this moment at the beginning when she just arrived, and Wally and just wanted somehow to make contact, with her, and she pushed him back. But for me, she was like goal-oriented person. Yeah, she had this goal, she obtained it, and nothing else matters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it didn't even depend on her. It was her program. But on the other hand, I think if it depended on her, she would behave very similarly. She would just focus on her goal, on this plant, and she would go away. Okay. Do you have anything to add about the development of their relationship?
Yeah, I'd like to say about Eva and the other robots. There is how to say a reference to Space Odyssey of Stanley Kubrick, and the behavior of autopilot, behavior of Eva. They have some purpose, which some goal which they should
fulfill. Yes.
Yeah. So Eva's purpose was to find some vegetation and bring it to the captain, and when Wally helped her with that, she changed her attitude from curiosity of friendship to love, something like this.
Okay, I hadn't thought about it like that, but it makes sense. Because at first you have a program and you are oriented only on the program, on the target. But the target is, completed, then you're free to feel whatever you feel or to do whatever you do, something like that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I think that Eva changed her mind when she saw how he took care about her. When he changed her, program to save this plant. I think.
Okay, okay. Okay, so if nothing else to add, we can move on to the next one. It's related to the previous question. So Wally includes a romance between Wally and Eva. How does the movie show their love? And what do you think it symbolizes in the broader context of the story? I have a couple of, like visual pictures where it's very obvious their love. Because again, they don't say, I love you too, like it happens without words. So how do you know that they love each other, or how do you know that he loves her and she doesn't love him? So can you give me some specific pictures or moments or scenes, or what gave it away, this romance?
They touched each other, they touched the hands, they touched the heads or eyes.
Yeah, and touching hands, this kind of thing. Remember from the beginning of the movie when he wanted it so much when watching this movie, and then at the end when she did the same, it was, I think for him it's like the dream came true, something like that, I guess. Anything else? Because for me, one scene stood out in particular.
Scene in open space when they were flying.
Yes.
Wally holds fire extinguisher and uses the rocket.
Yeah, it was like even if you are blind and deaf, etc. When you see this scene, you definitely see that there is something going on between them, like some kind of romance or chemistry or something. But they have feelings for each other. Very romantic, I think. Very romantic scene. Okay. If nothing else, we can move on to the next question.
I
Wally
can add
is that-
that at first part of movie, Wally tried to take care for Eva, and in the end, Eva
yes.
care for Wally. It's like
Yeah, there is a nice balance to that. Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay, the next one. Wally is set in the future, but Wally surrounds himself with ancient stuff like rubber duckies and batteries and spoons, and you remember all those things. Do you think these things have any special meaning, and why do you think so? Maybe
I'm
you
not
can
sure
start
that
with.
it has some special meanings. I didn't notice it. It's interesting. Maybe how ashtray, and if we want to smoke, we use
Lighter.
light.
Zippo.
Many lighters in your storage. It can like symbol of that you want to burn something, to lead a light for dark or something like this.
But he had no idea how to use it.
Right.
Eva started
Ah.
first.
So he,
Yes.
Get this Zippos, but just like a stuff, like shiny metal stuff, as well as when he found a ring in a box, he just throws this ring, but this box is beautiful. So I think some old things, they good tactically if you hold on hands. So like I have many old cameras, photo cameras. They're all different. You feel how it click, cold metal, and now we moving. I mean, humans moving toward some optimal design of everything. And for example, all phones now are the same. Yeah, it's all black bar of
yeah, bricks. Yeah, bricks with touch screens, and
Yeah.
that's true. Mhm.
That's why when he was working in it, like among regular rubbish, and he found some irregular stuff, colorful, some unusual shape.
Unusual, yeah.
He
Mhm.
recognized it's like something interesting and brought it in his container.
Yeah, I think it's another, another face or another side of something you already mentioned, that he's curious. So for him, even if he doesn't know what it is and what it does, for him, he's just curious. Oh, what is it? Let's bring it home. It's interesting. And on the other hand, it also, creates in a viewer like me this impression. Like we don't even notice these things when we have them, like all this stupid small stuff like felt pens and I don't know, lip balm or something like that. But then the world is over and this thing remains, and some people or some creatures don't even know what it's for and why we bought it, etc. I mean, it creates this kind of dissonance in my head. Like there is so much stuff, like piles and piles of these mountains of stuff, and sometimes we care about it more than about preserving the planet or something like that. I mean, I don't think about the planet every day or even often, but still, these small things sort of remind me of that. Okay. Last question here, I think. Wall-E is considered a groundbreaking animated movie. Can you think of why? What stood out to you personally in this movie? How does it compare to other animated films you've seen? I've seen a lot. I like cartoons, actually, and I've seen a lot, so I still think it's one of the best. And what makes it special in terms of storytelling and how it's made? So there are several different parts to this question. You can choose one of them and discuss only one of them.
What does it mean, groundbreaking animated movie?
Groundbreaking, it's like really influential. It's like even breaks the ground, like wow.
I guess this movie was one of the first, this cartoon, which get rid of Disney standard, because there was a standard of a cartoon is a Disney. It's like top, and it should be like this.
That's true.
And it's something completely different.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of interview or program. I don't know what to call it, but It was about Pixar and about this movie in particular. It was made quite some time ago, so it was just the beginning for them. And they explicitly said that they didn't want to be like Disney with love stories, like prince and princess and stuff like that, traditional stuff. They didn't want any singing. Also, in this movie, we have, like soundtracks, but I don't remember any singing. And they wanted to tell the story mostly like, for it to be very visual. And I think they achieved it very well. The first 40 minutes without any dialogue, no singing, and the story, there is a little bit of romance, but I think it was not the main point. It's one of the main points, but not the main point. Sorry, I'm talking too much instead of everybody.
No, it's
fine. So how would you compare with some cartoons that you've seen? I mean, I know some of you don't like cartoons, but for example, if you compare a cartoon you recently saw and WALL-E, what would you say would be WALL-E's pluses and what would be WALL-E's minuses, or some other way of comparing them?
I think that WALL-E got all 10 or 100 stars because from the start, from the first second when Pixar, this light bounce, my daughter was starting laugh,
Yes.
And after that, it's very so we can say that this movie about some cartoon, this kind of cartoon, it's like one not kind but like kind. Yes, like a kind of cartoon.
One of the kind. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because it's WALL-E, because it's cartoon about robots, about expression without words, without language, and it's like WALL-E, and another different kind. Maybe it can be one cartoon about some topic like WALL-E, but it's very outstanding of others. So it's not like how to say story about something from our ages, previous ages. So it's very very specific plot, specific not actors but players in this story. So for me, like Shrek, we understand when Olga mentioned, so all understood what does it mean. Yes, so
like
Shrek,
a classic, yes.
it's a kind of cartoons. Shrek. I don't know if we can make some other examples, but for me, WALL-E is like I watched it only once many years ago. Rewatched it now because you announced it as a topic of our movie club, but it's still delivers, if I can say, deliver me emotions, and I share my emotions with my child. So it's in Apple you can rent something or you can buy something. So this kind of movie you want to buy because you want to rewatch in the future. You want to have it for some period of time.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, Mihai. Yes, I have a very, very similar impressions and feelings about WALL-E. When I first watched it, it was my favorite animated movie for a long time. And then I watched sometime later, I watched How to Train Your Dragon. And because I like dragons in general, like in the books, in the movies, I like that movie more. But WALL-E remains somewhere almost on the same step or just a little bit below. But yeah, I think it stands above all the rest of cartoons. Yeah.
I cannot say that it's above. It's it's different kind of.
Yes. Yeah, I understood you. Well,
I cannot compare anything with Harry Potter and some other films that I very liked, but it's WALL-E. It's we cannot not split, but combine with others. So it's WALL-E, like this WALL-E and this Shrek and something else.
Okay. Anything to say here?
So it's like a standalone movie which does not have any continuation, not a franchise. Yes, they don't
Mhm.
make many series.
Sequels or something. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
good when it's standalone.
yeah.
It's
And-
like end-to-end story, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry?
so I guess it's already like a classic, as well as it refers to another classic, yeah, to Space Odyssey.
Yeah, I
need
just
to watch
wanted to
Space
say-
Odyssey.
Huh?
I need to watch Space Odyssey. You mentioned it twice already, and I think I was planning to, but I
The
haven't.
music in the end when the captain fighting with autopilot, and there's music from Space Odyssey.
Okay, you need to tell me if it ends badly or if it ends well.
It's Kubrick. It's Stanley Kubrick.
Okay, no, not anytime soon. Right now, I just watched something that is uplifting, like inspirational, kind and compassionate and stuff like that. Was just silly, but yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so if there is nothing to add, I think it was an excellent discussion. At least I loved all the answers. I
I
really
think
enjoyed
Olga
listening.
want to say something, and Olet also.
No, I just wanted to support your idea that, when we are talking about Wall-E, it's Wall-E, yeah, and it's like, whole story, yeah, we do not expect something extra, yeah, it's like, end-to-end story, yeah.
Why? We
Yes.
can expect some little Wallis and little Avas. And
I see. But it would be another story, yeah, it would be already another story, yeah, another beginning, yeah.
Yeah, every end is another beginning, something like that. Yeah. Okay, Ola, I don't know how to differentiate between you. So, do you have anything to add here?
I have actually a question that I would like to ask you.
great.
I was interested in it because there's not so many generations of people in that ship. So there's like middle-aged people and children, really small children. We don't see teenagers, we don't see old people. Did you notice it? And why? What do you think?
I didn't notice it, but when you asked the question, I started thinking, and I think I'm not sure I'm right. I'm totally not sure, but I think they are using some kind of I'm not sure how it's called, what it's called, like scientifically, suspension. I think they put people in suspension, so part of people live, and part of people sort of like sleep in deep sleep, and then they change them. At least that's my idea. I'm not sure if it's true or not.
it's an interesting question. I think that all of them became fat, and somebody big fat and some other little fat. So nothing different. It's only big and little fat.
But what about old people? I mean,
Yeah, there were some.
there were, because I don't
Yeah, not
remember.
many, but I like remember there was some old woman with gray hair, something like that.
Okay, because I didn't think about this question, so I actually love questions. It makes your
Maybe it
brain
also
work.
was the idea that people want to share their thoughts during movie club and have some questions. So it's a space for question for discussing.
Yes, I have to input a special, like special 5-minute, break for questions. Yes, it's a great question. Thank you. Did you have a theory, or did you think about it?
Probably it's some kind of a fail of producers.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they show people with because age is experience, and we have it on our face, on our body. But those people, they just like live in vegetation.
Yeah.
They just see what in front and drink something, and they don't get older. They are the same, like chicken in incubator.
Yeah, great theory. So we have 3 different theories, and nobody knows which one is right, which is good.
Maybe
I mean-
creator didn't have time to to create these special stories of the split generation for younger and older, and that's all because no more time for movie or something else. It's also can be. about failure of this film?
When I was reading up on, researching a little bit how they made it, I had an impression that the producers or like editors, whoever, writers, they, put a lot of effort into creating it. They created so many storyboards. I think they thought about everything. Maybe we should ask them. Even on social media, maybe I'll find it and ask them. Okay. So before we say goodbye, just one of the final questions. What are we going to discuss next time? And you can, just give me your opinion. I was thinking about these two movies because I watched The Jungle Book recently. Rewatched it recently. I think it's pretty good. It's a family movie again. There is something to discuss there. In Time, it's you can make it bigger to read a small introduction. It's more about the possible future, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of drama, a little bit of action. Again, it depends what kind of movies you like. So, which movie would you like to discuss next in August?
Tatiana, when we are going to have this next club?
Usually it's the last Sunday of the month. So,
Okay, so
if you look at the calendar, just give me a second to open it.
it is 27th.
Yes, that's right, the 27th of August.
So I would not vote because I'm out.
No, you can vote. Your opinion matters. I would like to know what you think.
As I'm not fan of cartoons, I would vote in Time.
I think that we watched one cartoon. Maybe we have to watch in Time,
It's not a cartoon.
but Jungle Book, it's cartoon, I think.
No?
No, it's not a
No?
cartoon.
No, it's movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Mm.
In Time, I think I didn't watch it, so I want to watch it and discuss it.
Okay. So I can give you a little bit of poll. You can just click the button and hopefully I will see the answers. I've never tried the polls yet. So hopefully, In Time. Okay. So next movie will be In Time. I hope you will like it. I will send the movie questions and additional information as updates. So in your inbox, you should find them later. And the last question, it's about feedback. You can vote here, or you can write your answers here, or you can just say it, by speaking. So did you like today's meeting, especially the new ones who've never been here before? I'm interested in what you think. Did you enjoy this time? 60 minutes discussing one movie?
I also knew here because at the first time when I use app session I didn't like app session, but now I see that it works. I first here with Olga and Ola, and it was my pleasure to share my thoughts with you and hear you, your English and your ideas. Pasha, as usual, you are very specific and very sharp in your decision and your thoughts. So and Tanya, you deliver good film and deliver me opportunity to spend meaningful time with my daughter. So yes, I like it, and thank you so much for this activating English session.
Thank you, Igor. It's very nice to hear that about the movie club and also how you see the other participants. It's very, very nice. Thank you. Don't forget to click submit if you wrote anything, and that would be the end of today's meeting. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. And if you have friends who can speak English, at least at the intermediate level, and who like talking about movies, invite them in. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
It was nice to meet you.
Great evening. I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You can just close the window. Yes. Bye.
Okay.